Thanks so much, David. Thank you for this invitation to read here on your space. It was such an honor, and I hope that the words that I share today connect to some space within people's hearts and souls. Recollection can go far back, if you allow it, to an innocent time in your life, an ideal time. Does the passing of years do that? Does it fade harsher edges? Does it declining memory provide respite from occurrences that we refuse to keep? We long for the comfort of an idyllic past where our present encroaches, disappointing us. We dread the thought of how we have let our inner child down. This piece is called Dear Girl When. Dear 5-year-old, the tadpoles are growing up really nicely, don't you think? I think by Saturday we'll have about a dozen bullfrogs. Do you think the pattern of our bedroom curtain looks like wise cats or laughing faces? Our sister has decided that we are old enough to learn fractions. Did you know that plastic palm leaves pressed on Play-Doh makes neat pretend archaeological dig fossils? Today we played the Wizard of Oz with our stuffed animals and the glazed ceramic lion in the living room. 10-year-old, you don't have to pretend that you cannot understand or speak the language. I think they should know that their taunting hurts your feelings. Are you making friends? Have the other kids stopped staring at you and asking why your eyes are not blue? I think that bob suits your face. You're still cute as a ladybug. Long hair grows back fast anyway. I still have not gotten over Vicks Vapor Rub in teeny tiny quarter-sized tins and Coca-Cola in plastic bags. What odd people. Dear 19-year-old, we are back in the land of rock and roll, the red, white, and blue, and excess. Do you feel kano again? Are you dying to scrape the 8-year thick Batangueña accent from your tongue? The boys here come pre-sold with swagger and hormones included, and the girls come glamour shot worthy and packaged ready to that is, ready to wear. Keep your morals, keep Dr. Jose Rizal's Maria Clara on speed dial, but don't forget that you're only young once, so have lots of fun. Dear 35-year-old, your bombshell manual is both weapon and Bible. I hope you could still hear me through the in-between of your clickety-clack stilettos. Stay afloat, even if only your nose tip conquers the tide. Submerged below water is still you, beneath the bodycon, a basement swaddled in bravado. In your sleep, your heart keeps time faithfully to the words emerging, an agonizing tick-tock that sticks between brain and nestles in your hard palate. Dear 5-year-old, is that you? The bullfrogs have all left. The curtain holds shapes, not joyful faces. Real cats can't talk. I have decided our sister is almost ready to learn fractions. Still, I'm generous and give her the lion's share. Do you know that nails impressed upon upper arms bring blood and reality to the surface? When we arrived at long last at the Emerald Gates, we were told that the wizard had ballooned home. Recollection can sometimes be half hidden, trapped. I long to escape, but I don't know how. I long to remain as transparent as the walls of my prison. This is called Glass House. It is inside the thin layer collapsing, the sleeping world so I may wake. My last dream wanting to cling fast. It is a vision of glass walls, of glass floors and glass ceilings, no entrance, only exits, only pathways, only mazes. I began whispers at first, inaudible to my ears, perceived by my cats as lullabies. Knowing they nod and close their eyes, the rising sounds on my tongue are sounds of safe harbor. I listen to them, to commit them to memory. They will tell me that I am not meant to understand them yet. I list the plan of days and lifetimes almost coalesced into my being, and I flip them over, light and airy. They are pancakes now. I want to consume them before they grow stale, are not palatable, and I have to throw them away. Such are fancies in the daylight. They don't want to stay and sit with you at the table and drink their pulpy juice and chew on scrambled eggs and read the newspaper and hush. They just want to die right there on the unmopped floor. I imagine layers of me, scab, scale, skin, flesh, peel away thin, like deli meat. I am frenzied to hasten that process of decay, think better of that idea, halt it, change my mind and goad it, gouge pieces of me to give away in secret. I marvel at my bloodied fingernails and please that with each tear, I am closer to my soul. I could rip past fascia and bone and feel no pain at all. In parts, I have hollowed. In parts, I am hollow. In parts, I feel hollow. I am here. I do not let the walls touch me like this, yet still they follow me to the middle of the room, where I bend myself to be small. They know this game of mirror movement. I shrink, they shrink. I breathe, they breathe. The space contracts. A cry emits from afar. I fall in the silence. In eyelids thanking the respite of gravity. I slip into the crevice, widening as waking relents, shows scarce mercy. Let's go. I walk these slumbering halls, run my fingers along impossible sanctum, watch them stick to the cool glass expectation. There are no windows. There are no doors. Somewhere in there is a recollection of being whole, of knowing who I was. There's always that longing to belong. And sometimes there's that longing to be someone else. A skin I wear. Can I bother you for a moment? Tell you about a skin I wear when my own doesn't fit. When my own slows off dying on its way down the drain when I shower ashamed to be me. If you wish, I will share it now with you. Here, that seems to work to appease the guilt of staring at my tedious beast staring back at me in the mirror. She is smug. She mouths the words slowly that I may understand. She fogs the glass with her proclamation. You are hideous. No one loves you. Come, come, take this off my hands. Be enthralled as it takes different shapes, expands and constricts, and dictates its size. according to the body summoning it, lusting after it, thinking it cloak of protection to swaddle around themselves. Wait long enough. Wait for it to cut your airflow off, your circulation. It is a greedy succubus in that fashion. But no, ignore how it absorbs you, steals away your will. It is worth the agony. It exacts. Feel how plush it is. I made sure it is a comfort before it wearied of being a superior version of me. It metastasized all on its own, gargantuan Venus of its own deceit. It will blindfold your conscience and smile while doing this. It will make you want it, tremor, fits of your addiction, so much so you may not wish to give it back. Know that the parasite makes the decisions. You are not in charge. You could keep it on you. For now, let it be your new skin, meld with your bones, seep thick into your bloodstream until you scratch at it in terror, wanting it gone, wanting it out. No longer novelty. It will tire of you first. It desiccates, delicate, husk every use. Here, take this one forming as it divests itself of meat and organ, severs tendon, sickness escaping my corpse, reverent, seeping into yours. Sip of water. There are recollections of events in my life that are unfortunately cruel, unspeakable. They crop up now and then. But I've learned to not push them down anymore. Learn to walk past trying to find the kindness and grace beyond what I am given in return. I long now for these words, these thoughts to linger in the air, to mingle with voices of brothers and sisters wronged, to linger uncomfortably until they are heard. This is called things that my Pinay American ears should not have to hear. I would like to share with you a list of actual things said to me over too many years. I would like you to know how my reaction in each instance ran the expanse of ashamed to stunned to briefly resigned to angry. I would like you to know that I'm not always proud of how I responded to these utterances in the past. I would like you to know I put my foot down now. I say no. Please watch the words that emerge from your mouth. Ignorance cannot be an excuse to stand behind. Do better. Words slung recklessly cause damage and hurt. Do better. Number one, these Pinay American ears have heard you call me pretty ching-chong girl, geisha girl, island girl. Keep your fetishes to yourself. Number two, these Pinay American ears have heard the curiosity and why is your skin not white and your eyes not blue? America, land of immigrants, color allowed, but palate limited. Number three, these Pinay American ears have heard the disbelief in, but you speak English so perfectly, as if this raises my percentage of credibility, of Americanness, of worthiness to stay. Number four, these Pinay American ears have heard you ask me, no, where are you really from? Would you be baffled, pissed off, if you were asked this and not believed over and over? Number five, these Pinay American ears have heard beautiful Tagalog phrases like kamusta ka, maganda ka, and salamat, mocked and mangled. Are we supposed to simply smile and be honored? Number 6. These Pinay American ears have heard you wonder if people in the Philippines lived in houses or mud huts. The savages have running water and Wi-Fi connectivity too. Number 7. These Pinay American ears have heard you give up and declare, I won't even try to pronounce your name. Each syllable of my name is phonetic as it appears. No excuses. No excuses. Number 8, his Pinay American ears have heard the snide asides. Filipinos, they're only ever after a foreigner or a visa. My parents, my family scraped together meager funds, slogged through hardships and heartbreak, held hope to get to this promised land. I want you to consider carefully the absurdity in this claim the next time a Pinay housekeeper cleans your hotel room or a Pinoy nurse soothes your ailing grandmother's fever. Number 9, these Pinay American ears have heard your intended placating made inside of intelligent and industrious, molding us into your model minority, the more us than them, wanting us to be that divide. I will not provide the wedge that alienates me from my brothers and sisters. These Pinay American ears have grown weary of what they hear. These Pinay American ears will not listen to you anymore. Recollections of my beloved mama. She's now been gone 2 years. They come really often. I will never cease to long for her gentle guidance and wisdom. My mama is the one who taught me the seemingly simple art of cooking rice over a traditional wood-burning stove. In that passing over of a skill, there was more. There were lessons of patience, a fierce love of native soil and heritage embedded. A culture that is mine, wherever I go, that cannot be taken away. This is called preparing rice. There's a skill involved in the sifting of rice. A patience explained between bent fingers of elders to the impatient, nimble fingers of their young, and how they part and create moving dunes of white into mountains, divide to invent valleys in between where empty hulls and shining gray pebbles await notice. A diligence in seeking every last one as if a cherished gem. The practice of flick in the wrist makes grains shower, an arc of sunlight in one fluid motion, this repetition becoming its own meditative rhythm. There is an art to the careful act of cleansing rice, of summoning the coolness of a stream of water ready to trickle down the palms as they lightly caress plump grains, in observation of liquid swirling thin milk into translucent. A single joint becomes the mark upon your measuring tape finger, a knowledge innate of where the top of the saturated rice ends and the rise of water above it begins, an innate knowledge of how it's the perfect level. There is an art in building and maintaining your fire upon which you cook your cast iron pot of rice. Begin with the small branches, leaves, and logs presenting themselves along meandering early morning treks, spying kasoy peeping between fences and sampalok fallen from tall trees. Remember the coconut hulls sun-dried after a fiesta ng mahal na birhen, and carefully squirreled away. Take this morning's newspaper and light its frightening political headlines aflame. Feed it as offering to your hungry kindling. The wildfire consumes itself. Here your pot nestles where the embers glow and endure. There is a skill to tending this life-sustaining gift of rice. A balanced scale of perseverance and ingenuity in preparing it as the vital lungs and heart of a meal where not one morsel is neglected. Nose and eyes intuit the thickness and steam, and the linger in the air of hearty aroma, and knows this is where to shush and calm the flame. See as the grains soften and expand, swallow what remains of the pool, land of purity once submerged in ocean fathoms, now lifting its head, visible. Never an idle kettle, pygmy aubergines, their bands of deep forest green startling, join the settling rice, keeping each company as they relax, subdued and pliable. Tara na, kain na tayo, carries upon the afternoon's remaining billow, humidity meeting the coming dusk and its tentative coastal breeze. Sampaguitas greet the cooling of evening, whetting appetite saved prudently for hapunan. Country table set, tinapa bounds from the frying pan, flamboyant in the instance it flashes the momentary gold rainbow of its smoked skin. Sibuyas at kamatis soak themselves sea salty in patis, each soul offering, knowing to wait, almost until the tutong crackles once. Our signal to mingle our words with the grace of our bounty. Amang banal, basbasan mo po ang mga biyayang pinakaloob mo sa amin. Our signal to whisper grace before dinner. Oh, David, how am I on time?
You've gone 22 minutes, but do your thing. I mean, who's counting in a way? Please go ahead.
Okay, I will do maybe two more. Yeah, two more. Okay. Yeah. Okay, I'll do two more. Recollections of, I feel there are whispers from a past life of an enduring soulmate, someone meant just for me. Sometimes if I just am really calm, or sometimes in that moment between waking and sleeping, this is going to sound corny, but I swear I hear the sound of our hearts resynchronized to each other. And I long for them in each life that passes, in each life that I pass through. This is called Vega and Altair. Today, I am told, today the sparrows carry this song inside their throats as they frolic with the wind's daughter. Today, I am told, today, my mortal body sheds its false skin, releases its shape from beneath the weight of my liver. The rivers part, the skies part. They were inseparable in their past lives, but chose to forget. How do you cleave twin souls? Where do you place the knife to cut and leave no mark of blood? Like me, they will not recall what every planet forming anew used to call them. They lose the sensation of how their waves were a courtship, a call back and forth beckoning, messages of longing sent in lapping, lightning spark code. The rivers part, the skies part, and your beloved face, once familiar. Do we dare step forward? Do we tempt fate with our audacity, breaking hollow bones while we try to balance? Our flight does not give us wings. We make our escape, but spines do not become permanent highways. This is the eon that my teardrops will not flood villages and plant seedlings in fertile soil that mocked my womb barren. This is the eon my teardrops will race the younger stars, and we will taunt each other to spin Gaia once and then again on her axis. This is the season when you finally lay down your flute, and the skies will not rumble discontent. They are placated. This is the season your flute charms the fickle gods, and celestial ones enjoy the mercury silver turn. Oh, how they whim. Our fingers know each other's warmth before we forget who we were once upon a time. I do not know your name any longer as your chariot passes between the heavens. And I want to leave you with this last piece, hoping that we learn lessons in the recollection of all the lives that we have cycled through. And, you know, it becomes a practice run, I guess, to ultimately reaching that perfection. All the loves that we've been, all the lives that we've been, and longing for that perfect suspended moment. So a little over a year ago, I co-featured alongside the very gracious Lantern Carrier. And so this piece that I'm going to close with was a collaboration with him. The first part is Lantern, and the second is me. It's called, and Lantern gave the title, it's called Love, the Accomplished Painting with Lantern Carrier. Love is an accomplished painting, me, a tiny thread, still being woven together by the supreme artiste. The Nightingale symphony of my lyrical song have not yet blossomed. The inner passions like a flame consumed me in darkness, yet you watched over me, like the heavens splitting the night sky with golden beams of heavenly light. My grief was born in pain and loneliness. Scrolls of blood flowed and colored my joy. Old memories fade eventually like breath. Now your effulgence dazzles like the sun. Camouflage within desire, my hopes fly. A majestic butterfly unspooling a silk cocoon in search of the beloved. My inner flares light up the night like shooting stars. When the dawn awakes, I see the sun and moon sharing a kiss together on the sacred blue shafts of infinitude. I become a lover, seeking the one responsible for such magical formations. On the wings of my dreams lie the bewilderment of our tomorrows. Our smiles blend with each steadfast gaze, bemused by the intimacies of luminous supernova. My heart hears melodies in stillness, 1,000 times more beautiful than the harp of minstrels. My soul now twirls, putting the dance of a million stars to shame. No more eons of struggle. The red bow of my agony has reached its target. The breeze carries my splendor like a fragrant rose. I dine at the gate of love's immensity, bedazzled by its light. That is Lantern Carrier's portion, Manatita, the Lantern Carrier, 10th May, 2021. Sing, sweetest nightingale, sing. Warble onto the skies the melody that imbues the heavens with our ardor's inviting tint. Do the seraphim enchanted take up the chorus, I suspect they secretly covet the passion burning bright, rivaling a morning star at its most luminous before it plunges to its delicious downfall. I did not know the taste of solitude at its heart. It possesses no flavor, but it is bitter rind upon its edges. Your desire feeds me. It overwhelms me. I am not naive, not without caution, yet I will free fall into you, trusting my love is reciprocated and that you will catch me. In my mind, I am reticent, but the wind in my ears as I dive distracts me. When I emerge, rebirthed from a swallowing sea, soy la diosa luna y tú, mi amante, el sol impávido. Our tryst half in shadow, our lips touching in passing, our bridge feathered, gaseous, and void. Do our avian conspirators pray to a Friar Lawrence or the nursemaid? They are giddy to be part of the ruse. They have decided to aid us, feigning 1 part pity, relishing 3 parts intrigue. The morning star remembers the first time he toppled. He says the apple was worth the infatuation. Seraph naked, save for their halo, run chaste heels over the dancing spit, and watch the flames lick beneath their belly. Sing, sweetest nightingale, sing. Your cries touch the morning and she smiles. Half awake, half dreaming the night still caresses her limbs. In repose a moment more, she plays the besotted fool. Phynne-Belle, 11 May 21, 3:30 a.m. Thank you.